Thanks. I want to talk today about something I know a lot about: sports. Coming to this school a few years ago was a difficult transition for me. As you all know, there was a bit of a sports culture at this school, and certainly no shortage of sports enthusiasts amongst the students, something definitely lacking at my old school. And as many of my students know, I'm not exactly a wealth of sports knowledge. I barely know the difference between baseball and football. I mean, I know they both have a ball. You do something with it. That's pretty much the extent of my sports knowledge. The Colts making it into the Super Bowl certainly didn't help my image, especially after I asked some of my students, why is everyone so excited by a baseball game anyway? But I have good reason for my sports ignorance and for my general aversion to sports, and it goes back to my high school days. So you can all get to understand me better. Here are my top 10 experiences with high school sports. Woo. Number 10, dodgeball. My high school teammates never bothered to tell me the object of dodgeball, but I'm a quick study, and through observation, I swiftly caught on. Apparently the object of the game was for me to stand still while everyone in class chucked balls at me at impossibly high speeds. Using a police radar, those devices used to detect speeders, I actually calculated the ball speed at 650 miles an hour. It's enough to go through a brick wall. Unfortunately, it didn't occur to me at the time that carrying around gadgets like a police radar might be contributing to my unpopularity. Could also have been the Star Trek backpack I kept it in. But it got to the point you couldn't really call it dodgeball anymore. It was more like, throw the ball at Novak and kill him. You think I'm joking? That's what the coach called it. Every day we'd all show up for PE class. The coach would blow the whistle and say, "Okay, everyone, let's play throw the ball at Novak and kill him." This announcement was always followed by much applause and jubilation. Number 9, football. Yes, you can all probably tell by looking at me, I was quite proficient at this one. For me, football was pretty similar to dodgeball, but instead of throwing the ball and hitting me, they wanted me to catch it. In fact, they often begged me to catch it. And so naturally, not having quite caught on to the object of this sport yet, I caught it quite frequently. At which point, the real fun began. For them. I'm not going to get into the details, but let's just say I lettered in football. Or as it came to be called at my school, throw the ball at Novak and kill him. Noticing the common theme yet? Number 8.
Let's go ball.
Karate.
Oh my God.
You know the whole thing about splitting bricks in half with your arms? Let's just say my teammates have their own twisted take on that. Use your imaginations. Imagine lots of chopping sounds. To this day, whenever I hear a woodpecker, I have to go to my happy place. Number 7, hockey. This one my teammates oh so ingeniously renamed Puck to the Head. Then one of the more intellectual of them suggested that the name should more specifically enunciate the true objective of the game and started calling it Puck to Novak's Head. I have no actual memories of this game to share with you. All I recall is the cold weather, the hard ice, and then the game started and everything went blank. Number 6, fencing. Actually, this one's not all that different from what you saw demonstrated here a few weeks ago on stage. Except I wasn't allowed to wear protective gear. Number 5, volleyball. All I remember is that the word Winslow is often found imprinted on my forehead for several weeks following each game. Number 4, archery. I don't actually remember what hurt more: the arrows or hearing the coach announce we were going to be doing archery that day. Maybe we just had a bad coach, because it seems to me the students always missed the target. Except apparently for the one they painted on my back. Number 3, bowling. Yeah, solid marble-like pins and a 20-pound ball of fear. As you can imagine, this was not exactly my favorite sport. In case you have no imaginations, I typically was the first pin. But I could handle that. What I couldn't handle was that ball retrieval mechanism. Don't remember exactly what it's called. I only got to know it from the inside. Number 2, kickboxing. Okay, we didn't actually do kickboxing at my school. It was just a recurring nightmare I had. All I have to say about kickboxing is, thank God I didn't grow up in Thailand. And finally, my number 1 experience with high school sports: bungee jumping. I kept telling my teammates that if I'm not allowed to use an actual bungee, then it's not bungee jumping. I mean, without the actual bungee, it's just jumping. In hindsight, it was probably not a good idea to keep reminding them of that. After reading this chapter to my mom over the phone last night, she responded, "Pookie, try not to sound so angry." So I decided to rewrite or redo one portion of my chapel just for Mom. It got to the point that you couldn't really call it dodgeball. It was more like, throw the ball at Novak and kill him. Happy, Mom? Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going back to my room to mourn for my lost childhood.